the Inspirational Ambivert channel. My name is Brad. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 42. Today, I'm going to be talking about the challenges of being a man in 2025. So the challenges of being a man in 2025. This is my perspective, obviously a man's perspective, on why I think men, especially white men, have got it hard in 2025. I'm giving my perspective. I'm just going to write this in quickly. What do you think? This is a live, of course. What do you think are the biggest challenges that men face in 2025? I'm going to leave that for the chat to look at. This is a random one, straight off the cuff. I feel like doing this, so I'm doing it. I'm just writing this in first. So people know what I'm talking about. Question mark. There we go. Done. Start Q&A. Hi, Yorick. I wasn't going to do this one, mate, if I'm honest, but I'm here now. And I'm going to go for it. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday, so I'm going for it. How are you anyway, Yorick? How's things? How are you doing? Hope that you're okay. Excuse me. Bless me, should I say? Right, so what do you think the biggest challenges for men are in 2025? This is my perspective, of course. Yorick, you've gone to get some food. Do you do that every night, Yorick? You just go out and get nice takeaways every night? You went for a bike ride earlier as well. Cool. What kind of bike have you got? You've got a mountain bike, a road bike, a city bike, or whatever they're called, the ones that fold up. I'm going to start speaking anyway, guys, and then I'm going to go to the comments later on. So talking about the challenges that men can face in 2025, I have got notes with me, to be open and honest. Of course, my name is Brad. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is a Let's Get Inspired live vlog, episode 42. It's nearly just gone past 10 to 9 on Wednesday, the 1st of October. Already in October already. It's gone quickly this year. So off I go. Let's just crack on. So being a man in 2025 isn't simple. The rules have changed, and a lot of us feel caught up in the middle. I'm not just saying, oh, woe is me for men. Not all men are perfect. Of course they're not. Some women are amazing. Some women aren't so amazing. And the same goes for men. You've got to be fair, of course. However, I'm just going to talk about some points with regards to men and why I think it's a lot more challenging for them and going forwards. Of course, if there's any women watching, please share your perspectives. If you agree with me, fair enough. But if you don't agree with me, that's fine, and explain to me why you don't agree. I'm open to debate. I don't know everything, but I'm sharing my honest perspective on things. So the first point I'm going to talk about is we're told to be strong. We're expected to be strong. Don't cry. Don't complain. Keep going. Be stoic. That kind of thing. But we're told to be strong, but also vulnerable at the same time. This can lead, but also to take a step back. Let me think about that. So we're told to be strong, but also be vulnerable, which can be confusing. We want you to be strong. We want you to be stoic. We want you to be all those things, but we want you to be vulnerable at the same time. But then sometimes what can happen is some men can be vulnerable. They can show their emotions, and then they can be mocked for it, put down for it. What I find as well, I don't like this. I don't agree with this. What do they say? What do a lot of people say about men? They call it man flu. Have you got man flu? I'm thinking, what do you mean? So that every time a man gets a cold, that's what it means. Every time a man gets a cold or he's ill, that means he's got man flu. Therefore, he just curls up in a ball like a little weak weirdo, can't fucking take it, can't withstand, no resilience, no toughness. And it's a load of rubbish. Absolutely, in my opinion, a load of rubbish. A lot of men, they'll have colds and they'll still go to work. They'll be a bit ill and they'll keep going. Another one, which I really don't like as well, is, oh, I better speak to the boss. Like, really? Oh, I better speak to the boss. So the guy's saying, I better speak to the boss, the wife. She's the boss. She's in charge of everything that I think and say and do. She decides where I go. She decides what I wear. She decides whether I can see my friends or not. I think that's pathetic, in my opinion. And that's what a lot of guys have ended up doing. And where does this all originate from? There's probably more to it than what I'm just saying. However, a lot of it stems from, look at all the films that you watch now. Look at Disney movies. What's the guy doing? Is the guy a strong guy in the film? No. Is he fuck? He's either he's a doofus, a stupid person, an idiot. He's either that in the films, or he's just submissive. He's looking after. He's just a submissive guy, and the girl's a strong person. The woman's a strong person, the hero in the story, and the guy's just a side character. And nothing against with women being in strong character roles, nothing against it, but it's always making the man look weak. And I think it's almost like social conditioning sometimes. It could potentially be that, couldn't it? Picturing men as weak every fucking time. And we're not weak. Men are strong. We're meant to provide, protect. And I'm not saying being horrible. I'm not saying being toxic. I'm not saying those things. But I think that's what men are good for. And what's happening is a lot of, sorry, I'm going on a little bit now, but I'm just going to pin that. Thanks for that, Jorik. I appreciate that. What's happening a lot of the time in family dynamics is the relationships aren't lasting. Relationships aren't lasting. So it's a lot of single mums out there. And there's a variety of reasons for that, of course. Sometimes the guy could be an absolute irresponsible arsehole. Of course he could. I'm not saying those type of men exist. I'm not on about those type of men. But there's a lot of guys that just end up in relationships and it doesn't work out for whatever reason. And there's a lot of women on their own. And then kids, my point is a lot of children are growing up with a positive male presence in the home. Of course, you need women as well. A woman's presence, nurturing presence, naturally caring. They're great at that type of thing. But I think you need a man in that family dynamic. And a lot of families don't have that. Therefore, it is affecting the children's growth, their own personal growth and development is going to be impacted by these broken down family systems. I'm going to go on more about that in a moment. But it can be confusing as a man now because we're expected to be strong, but also be vulnerable. It's like, what the fuck do you want me to be? You want me to be strong but vulnerable? Okay, you want me to lead, but don't lead too much. Don't be too much for a leader because I'll be threatened by that, potentially. The woman could think that about the guy. So you need to take a step back. Don't be too cocky. It's like the guy's a bit confused, potentially, in a lot of situations. If you want to share your comments on here, what do you think are the biggest challenges for men in 2025, then please comment. If you're a woman watching this, if you don't agree with anything what I'm saying, comment below, of course. And what was I going to say then? Sorry, trying to get the words out. And if you want to, if you're a woman watching, what are the biggest challenges for women in 2025? Share your perspectives. I can only speak as a guy though, of course. So anyway, I'll carry on. My next point. Referring to my notes, of course, but I'm speaking in a live freestyling manner. Many men are losing their sense of role. They don't know where they fucking stand. They're asking, who am I supposed to be now? Who the fuck am I meant to be? Because I'm not allowed to be if you're too domineering or acting too much like a leader, they can blame you for being toxic. That's toxic. A guy as well is a lot of the emotions that we're allowed to have, we're only allowed to be angry. We're not allowed to show any other emotions, or what will they call us? They'll call us a bitch. They'll call us weak. That type of thing. So, and I think society has a lot to blame for this as well. It's a strange place out there. It really, really is. And I think we're getting beaten with a stick. I really, really do. My situation's good, don't get me wrong, but in the past I've experienced these things. I think guys are getting beaten with a stick, and a lot of guys they're they're not getting anywhere in relationships. Women want a guy that's really good looking. They want him to be over 6 foot tall. So a really good looking 6 foot tall guy, that rules out a lot of people, doesn't it? A lot of people. I'd be ruled out. I'm not 6 foot tall. They want you to be on a six-figure income as well. They want you to be earning over £100,000 or whatever it is. And then sometimes, this is just a scenario. This is just an example. And sometimes the women, what they've got, what are they offering? They've got 2 kids. They've got a load of baggage. That type of thing. Hiya, Trish. Hiya. Good to have you with us. Sorry, Trish. I'm talking about men's challenges today. If you don't agree with me, please say. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that. I'm just giving my perspective on why a lot of men are struggling in today's society. Why the suicide rates for men are much higher than women. And it's quite a dark, thick topic in a way. But if you can give your perspective, you don't have to, by the way, no pressure. But I felt like sharing this today. That's why I'm doing it. I'm going to keep talking and I'll go back to the comments in a moment. Good of you to join us, though. Thank you. It's all good. So many men, they don't know where they stand. They don't know where they want to be. Getting rejected because they're not on 6-figure incomes. They're not 6 foot tall. They're not looking like Brad Pitt, because most people don't. Sometimes the bar of expectancy for guys can be really high from a woman's perspective. Not all women, of course. Trish is saying, sorry, I will leave your live. Oh, it's okay, Trish. That's no worries. It's up to you, of course. If you're a woman, it's okay. You can be on here, of course. I'm not trying to exclude anybody. I'm just giving my perspective on the struggles of men in 2025. That's all. No worries. But thanks for joining us anyway. You don't need to apologise either, by the way, Trish. It's all good. So, yeah, a lot of men, I think they're struggling. They're lost. And what can happen is, what's it called? I'm trying to think now. If you feel lost, you don't have purpose, you don't know what your purpose is, you're lost, you don't know what you're doing, let's say, it can lead to anxiety, can't it? Aimlessness. But guys, some guys, they feel like they're aimless. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what their purpose is. They don't know what they're doing, and they become anxious and get lost. They get lost in it all, basically, which I think is sad. And that can lead to all sorts of things potentially, can't it? And sometimes what can happen if people feel lost, if you're not leading your life, if you've not got structure, doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything you want that to be, but a lot of people don't. I've not had structure in my life, so I know I can talk about it. It means that someone else is going to rule you. Someone's going to, it's going to, I will do in a moment, Yorick. Thank you. Saying, Brad, also tell viewers how to find purpose. I will do, yes. Thanks for reminding me. Thank you. What can happen is you can feel lost. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. Aimless, basically. That means, what does it mean? Someone else is going to lead your life for you. It could even mean, sometimes what some guys do, they get so lost, they get so twisted, they feel so lonely, they do toxic things, they take drugs, they end up in criminality, they end up in jail, potentially. Not good, of course. This is just an example. So they end up in jail, but then they become institutionalized because there's a tyrant. The tyrant is the jail. The tyrant is running them. The tyrant is the jail system. They're ruled by the tyrant. They're controlled by the tyrant, but it's a comfortable tyrant because if they were on their own, they'd be aimless, but they're in prison. So what happens is some people, they end up in prison, they become institutionalized, they get out of prison, and they feel aimless in society. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know, they're completely lost. They're not working, they're not doing anything, they're not creating anything. And potentially they go, what do they do? So because they feel aimless in society, a lot of men, some men, not all, will end up they'll end up going to jail, back to jail. Let's see, Chog, Gog, whatever. It's a really long word. FOBU. Probably, is it something rude? I don't know. Elaborate. Forbu. I don't know what that means, man. You're saying hi to you, Charge. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Elaborate if you can. My name's Brad, by the way. But speaking about the issues that men face, it's a really long word. It certainly is. Certainly is. Good of you to join us. I hope that you're okay. So I'm going to crack on. So yeah, people can feel lost, man, aimless. But what you need to do to challenge that is, it's easier said than done, of course, is write down, what do I want to do with my education? What goals do I want for education? What goals do I want towards work? Even if it's working at McDonald's, it doesn't matter. It's working in a factory, it doesn't matter. What kind of, or do you want to be a YouTuber? It doesn't matter what it is. You've got some goals. It doesn't matter what they are. But if you find some goals, you will not be aimless then. Relationship goals, other goals, blah, blah, blah. And if you start hitting, you start with the easiest goal. Start with the easiest one. Why do you start with the easiest one? Because it's going to make you feel good once you achieve it. It's easy to get. And once you get that little one, you can use it as a building block to move on to the next one. I'm talking about, I'm actually talking about the biggest challenges men face in 2025 from my own perspective, of course. I felt like I've not done one of these videos for a while, so I'm going for it tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I'm going to move on. Yes, I'm going to move on. So mental health is in silent crisis. I'm referring to my notes here just for a moment. Then I'm going to elaborate. Men are still told to man up instead of open up. So man up, get on with it. So a lot of men, they're not supposed to show emotion. They're not allowed to get upset. They're meant to work their asses off. A lot of the time, a lot of guys, what happens to them, sometimes it'll be the man with the wife and 2 kids. Let's just give a vague example. He's working in a fucking shitty job he hates. He's working his ass off. All his money goes to the family. He's tired. He's in service to the wife. The wife wants this. The wife wants that. He gives. But he's knackered. The kids want what they want. He's providing. And he never does what he wants to do. He never has any time for himself. Never does anything he wants to do. This is some guys, not all guys, of course. So you're going away. Gone. I don't know who that was, Yorick. Sorry, but I'm not having that on my live. I'm saying what I'm saying. Not having that. I'm a kid. Don't say fuck. If I want to say fuck on my own channel, I'll say fuck on my own channel. This is for adults. If I'm going to swear, if you don't like me swearing, then go to just. I'm not going to stop swearing. I'm a fuck. That's how I speak. That's me being real. That's me being genuine. I don't swear at people, but I do use swear words sometimes. If you don't like swear words, don't watch. If you're this person's saying that they're a kid and don't say fuck, no. silly bullshit, man. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Basically, a really crappy. What's it called? What are they called, guys? It's just someone who's, what they call trolls. Who gives a fuck? Weak people. Anyway, what was my point? Yeah, so a lot of guys end up just manning up all the time. And sometimes manning up's a good thing, isn't it? It's like, you wake up, you're tired, you're really ill, it's cold, it's wet, it's shit. You've got to go to work. Therefore, sometimes you think, I've got to man up today. I've got to fucking go for it. I've got to get the job done. And that's, a lot of the time, that's a good thing, man. It really, really is. That's being stoic. It's being stoic. I think that's a positive. I really fucking do. Hi, Sander. Good of you to join us. Sorry, I'm just talking about the challenges that men face in 2025, by the way, Sander. A lot of the time, it's good to man up. You've got to, man. You've got to. You've got a bit of a sore arm. You're a little bit ill. You've got shit to do. You're going to get it done. And that is going to get you through life a lot of the time. A lot of the time, it's going to get you through life. However, if it's howdy, says Sander, I'm in my cowgirl role. LOL. Okay, cool. Enjoy your cowgirl role, Sander. Good of you to join us, by the way. I'm glad you're here. As with Yorick as well, and you guys that are watching. I don't know who else is watching, but thank you for watching. It's all good, man. So sorry, I'll try and get my train of thought back again. Yeah, so manning up can be good, man. It can be good, but sometimes I think it's really fucking important for men to fucking express their emotions. Not mean blubbering, crying, and like a mess. Not meaning that. If people need to do that's fine, but just venting about your problems, what's pissed you off, having someone to talk to, having someone to vent to. Not everyone gets that. Having someone to vent to, having someone to talk to is a really fucking good thing. A problem shared is a problem halved. We need to do those things. It's fucking important. Why is it fucking important? I'll tell you why it's fucking important. Because I've had a friend that's fucking hung himself years ago. He hung himself. He's dead. I know that sounds fucking brutal, but I think not all of it's linked to this, but a lot of it might be, I think it's linked to not expressing yourself, saying everything's okay. He always looked like he was landing on his feet. He fucking did. He always looked like he was landing on his feet. Nothing was a problem. He was making everybody laugh. He was a really good person as well. And I don't think he opened up about his problems enough. He just didn't. He held on to them. I didn't know either. And it led to him killing himself. And I know another 3 people that have done it as well. I know this sounds extreme, and I know most people don't do it, but mostly it's men that fucking hang themselves. And it's a lot of it's fucking linked to this man up bullshit. Be brave, be hard, nothing bothers me, don't look like a bitch. Sometimes that's good, like I said. Of fucking course it is. Sometimes you've got to man up in certain situations, but not always. So not at the price of holding on to your emotions, holding on to your feelings, not expressing yourself. Obviously done in a controlled manner. Doesn't mean you're breaking down. It's a sign of strength, isn't it? It's a sign of emotional maturity. That's my fucking point. And I'll probably talk about this till the day I die. I really will. I will talk about this till the day I die. I just owe it to those people, I think. I don't want other people to do the same thing. I really don't. I really, really don't. And another one, right? 1 second. I'm not messing about here today, you know. And oh, gone. What a shame. Same person again, by the way. As before, by the way, Sander. Sander's saying, I believe different cultures have different challenges for men. Absolutely. And of course, Sander, obviously you're female. I'm just fucking thinking, it's not just, it's women have issues as well. I'm not discrediting those. They're a different kettle of fish. I'm sure there's a lot of fucking challenges for women out there as well. Abso-fucking-lutely. And also, please note, I'm not just saying some men are assholes as well. Some men are absolutely fucking terrible. Fucking the worst, aren't they? I'm not discrediting that either, by the way. Just to be open and honest. I like to have an open mind, of course. But Sandra's saying, but mostly stiff upper lip across bullshit across the globe. Yeah, it is expected of men. That's it. That is fucking it. It's old school. It's still there. I have it now. I struggle with it now myself sometimes. Sandra's saying, you're a yeehaw partner. Sandra's here. You like it? Yeah, that same person was on before, doing the same shit, saying I don't like swearing. I am going to swear. I swear as a person. I don't swear at work, of course, not in a professional setting, but this is my channel. I express myself genuinely and fucking openly, and I use swear words. I do words. I'm not swearing at anybody. If you find it upsetting, obviously don't watch me. Don't watch me. If you find swear words really offensive, then I'm not even sorry, by the way. Just don't watch me, it's fine. Sandra's saying, my brother has been carrying my entire family financially for years, Brad. That guy is unreal. Wow. It must be fucking difficult. Yeah, it must be, to carry the full family financially. How is he dealing with that? Does he take it in his stride? Does he struggle with it sometimes? That's a really good thing, of course. Of course, that's a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm going to keep talking. I feel like talking, so I'm going to keep talking. Anyway, I think my last few lives, I've not been as energetic, if I'm honest. My energy's been a bit low, but I've done my best. I did a video yesterday and I didn't feel like, I felt like I didn't do myself justice. So that's why I've come on today as well. Anyway, so I'm going to move on. So loneliness is the next one. Loneliness is the next one. So loneliness, referring to my notes again, of course, loneliness is everywhere. Friendships are thinner and digital life often replaces real connections. It really does. It really, really does. Do I have any close friends anymore? I've got my partner who I've been with for 9 years, which is great. She's great, of course. Very lucky. But other than that, I don't have friendships out and about. I don't have friendships anymore. No, I don't. I have people that I work with and get along with at work. I have my family, of course, mum and dad, brother, sister, which I see every now and again. But that's it. That's it. I'm actually okay with that, of course. But I think friendships are thinner and thinner as you get older. I don't know if everyone else is the same with regards to that. And obviously, yeah, digital life, like I am on here, often replaces real connections sometimes. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I think there's an epidemic of loneliness in men, and a lot of men can feel ignored or invisible. Yes, they can feel invisible sometimes, guys. They can in today's society, and they're struggling. I think sometimes, yes, completely ignored. Also, it's like if something bad happens to a woman or a child or whatever, people will be very empathetic towards them. But if it happens to a guy, it's just laughed off. It's laughed off. It's like if you're a guy and you've got a bald head, it's okay to take the piss. It's okay to take the piss of the bald head. I'm not bothered about that, by the way, of course. But it's one of the last things, isn't it, that's okay to take the piss out of, especially in today's society, in today's woke society, let's say. Ginger kids, ginger people, no disrespect to ginger people, and bald guys, we're still open to be ridiculed, aren't we? If you get what I mean. I'll give you my best examples. I think there's a lot of lonely people out there, though. Absolutely. A lot of lonely guys out there. Sorry, I don't mean to be horrible. I'm just bringing it to your attention. If you don't agree with anything what I'm saying, then please elaborate. I'm going to go to Standard's comment. Brad, we never really spoke about it, but I say he deals with it really well. Deals with it stoically, strongly. That's a good thing. Bit of resilience there. If he deals with it really well, he's winning, isn't he? But sometimes the strongest people, they don't break, they don't wilt, they're always there. They're the rock of the fucking family. They're the financial carrier of the family. They're the breadwinner. Even if they seem fucking really strong, they're really happy, it's just nice to check in with them every now and again. Even if they don't need it. And they're probably going to say, no worries, I'm good. But it's nice to know that someone gives a fuck. It's nice to know that people give a shit. Every now and again, check in with the strongest people around you, because you never know what they're going through. And even if they don't open up, I've just said this, sorry, I'm repeating myself. Even if they don't fucking open up, they just it's nice to hear that you've got people backing you up, people appreciating you. Because even the strongest break sometimes, they do. They do. Fucking they do. Everyone needs someone sometimes. And sometimes it's just knowing that someone gives a fuck. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that. Anyway, let's talk about the pressures that guys have. Some of the pressures. Women have other pressures. I'm not discrediting them. Everyone's got pressures. People have got pressures. Humans have got pressures. I'm talking about the pressures of men in modern society. It's changed, hasn't it? Anyway, the pressure to be okay. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. People like that one, especially in England. If you say you're okay, oh, you're all right, no worries. How are you doing today? I'm okay. That's an acceptable answer in English society. if you dare, especially as a guy, go, no, I'm not okay, I've had a really bad day, blah, 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 people are going to think, fuck off. Even if they're the one that's asked you if you're okay. So there's a lot of pressure to be okay. Nothing bothers you as a guy, of course, quote unquote. Next one. I've already talked about that social pressure to be strong. Don't be a fucking bitch. Don't be crying. People are going to take the piss out of me. People are going to think I'm a girl. That type of thinking goes through people's minds. People are going to think I'm a gay. That kind of thinking. Nothing wrong with gay people. No disrespect. But that's what guys can think in their heads sometimes. Next one is we're not allowed to speak how we feel. I refer to my notes again. Not allowed to speak how we feel. And it's also like a mask that most men are wearing a mask, putting a poker face on, getting on with it, grinding through. And we're praised for not breaking. Society will praise men for not breaking, but will be punished when we do. So I'll say it again. We're praised for not breaking as men, but we're punished when we do. We're punished or ridiculed and mocked when we do. That can happen as well. So what is breaking going to look like? What's breaking going to look like in a guy? What are the signs? If you spot these signs in someone that you're around, maybe it's even a woman sometimes as well, but most, I'm talking about men, of course. It's that bottled up anger, isn't it? The bottled up anger that men can have. So they could be showing signs, they're bottling it up, they're holding it in, but it's kind of cracking a little bit. Sometimes that bottled up anger, it can be, they could be a little bit more withdrawn than they usually are. Or they could be a little bit, they could seem a bit off. That's bottled up anger. Some signs of bottled up anger anyway. I'm going to move on to Sander. Sander's saying, England is so fake with asking if you're all right, but not actually wanting to know or caring, LOL. That's fucking true, you know. Fucking very true, man. Good morning, are you okay? They say at work, how you doing? Are you all right? They don't want to hear if you're not all right. Do they fuck? They want you to score. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. That's a socially accepted answer in England. Is that the same in other countries? I don't know. But in England it is. So it's almost like a fake. It's almost a fake way of saying, I hope that you're all right, kind of thing. I think not everybody means that, though. I think there's some people that are genuine, by the way. I can't say it's one size fits all, because that'd be stereotyping. It'd be too vague, in my opinion. I agree with you, Sander. It's empty and it is dumb. It's just a small talk kind of thing that people do. It definitely is. But I do think some people actually do care, Sander. I do believe that. A lot won't, but some will. Anyway, what's breaking going to look like in men? Let's go through other ones. I've just said it, haven't I? Withdrawal. So a man will withdraw. He won't be talking as much. He'll just be in the corner. He won't want to say anything. He's breaking though. He's breaking down potentially. He's withdrawing. Doesn't want to talk. Goes quiet. Quieter than usual. That's a sign that a man or sometimes a woman is breaking down. Something's not right. It's good to spot these things. Good to check in with people. Another one is overworking. So why would a man overwork? There's a lot of reasons why he might do it. One, he feels like he has to provide. He has to have income. He wants to keep the wolves from blowing down the house. You know what I mean? He wants to keep the wolves away from the door. Therefore, he's overworking. But it can go to levels where it's extreme overworking. He could be working 6-7 days a week, if not more. I don't know if you could do more than 7 days a week, of course. Overworking just to avoid. Why would you overwork? Workaholic, isn't it then? You're doing it as a man, potentially, because you're breaking down. You're avoiding your emotions. You're keeping yourself occupied with work. Some people do it with alcohol. Some people do it with gambling. Some people do it with drugs. Some people do it with work. They overwork. An addiction. Another way that a man can look like he's breaking down is numbness. Basically, apathy, isn't it? Apathy, apathetic. Like, stop giving a fuck about everything. That's a bad place to be. when you really don't give up. You've gone past the point of caring. The guy's gone past the point of caring. He's fucking numb as fuck. He doesn't care. He's done. He's emotionally burnt out. Breaking down, potentially. Got another quote for you guys. One moment. Referring to my notes, of course, being open and honest. So we don't always cry. Sometimes we shut down and nobody notices until we explode or disappear. I'll say it fucking again. We don't always cry. We don't always show emotions as men. Sometimes we just shut down and nobody notices. Nobody cares. No one gives a fuck sometimes until we explode, until the man goes absolutely sick. He goes crazy, starts smashing everything up. Then they might notice, or sometimes they disappear altogether forever. And you know what that means. I won't go into detail on that. So why do men hide the fucking pain? Why do we do it? Why the fuck do we do it? It's the fear of shame or judgment. I think that's what happened to my friend, by the way. I think that's what happened to my friend that's not with us anymore. That shame of breaking down, that shame of looking weak, that shame of that peer pressure. Peer pressure is not just for teenagers. We keep ourselves in check at every age, don't we? That fear of judgment from others. Oh, I'm not going to go for that job because they'll think I'm too cocky. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. The fear of judgment, the fear of showing that your emotions, the fear of expressing yourself because you could be judged by your peers, by your boss, by whoever. Yorick, hi Yorick. So let me see what Yorick's got to say. I think biggest challenges facing men is addiction. Good point. Men are more likely than women to get addicted to things for gambling, porn sites, drugs, and smoking. Absolutely, Yorick. Yeah, addiction as a way of escaping. It's escapism, isn't it? You're escaping your fucking inner demons. You're escaping Pandora's box, all those emotions and all those thoughts that are locked in. Have I done it? Do I fucking know? Yeah, I do know because I've fucking taken drugs. Trust me, I've taken drugs. I was addicted to drugs at the weekend. I was smoking, I was drinking. I was basically just trying to avoid myself, but I was doing it unconsciously, of course. So yes, I agree. You're saying I used to be addicted to porn sites when younger, but broke the habit when realised it's fantasy and real girls are not like that. Absolutely true, Yorick. Absolutely true. Yeah, to see why that'd be addictive. I think that's what a lot of happens to a lot of guys, that as well. A lot of guys. I think that even could be linked to simps to an extent. Going off topic a little bit. Well, that's another topic in itself. But yeah, real girls aren't like that. It's not real life. It's not real. But if that's some people, that's all they know. That's all they know. It's not real. No, of course not. And it's such more accessible now in today's society. And there's consequences for that as well, of course. Thanks for sharing that, by the way, Yorick. That's very insightful. Very good. Thank you. So I'm going to move on. Why men hide the pain. Why men hide the pain. Another one is you don't want to be seen to be weak, do you? As a guy, you don't want to be seen to be weak. So you're hiding your feelings. You're hiding your emotions. You don't want to show everyone upset. Life's good. Life's brilliant. I'm fun all the time. Nothing bothers me. You don't want to seem to be weak. That is a big one. You don't want to be seen to be a bitch. You don't want to be seen to be any of those things. This is what can go through a guy's head anyway. Jorek's saying, well, now they put age ID verification on those dirty sites. So that's good. Yeah, I think that is a good thing. Definitely. You can't have young kids on that. The brains will be fried, mate, Yorick. The brains will be absolutely fried if they're going on that as a young age. Wow. Yeah, it is a good thing. Good. That's about time, really, isn't it? Way too late, by the way, but at least it's there. So yeah, you don't want to be seen to be weak, mate, as a guy. You don't, because you're going to get the piss taken out of you. You're going to get ridiculed. You're going to get shamed. You're going to get judged. And a guy could like be in a group of friends. They're all laughing and joking. It's fun time, especially the fun time friends. They're there for a good time. The only reason why these people are friends, by the way, is because there's a shared activity. And what's the fucking shared activity? It might be going to the football. It's having a few beers. It's having a few lines of coke. Whatever it is. It's not really a friendship, is it? It's a friendship based on an activity. And a guy might be in there and he might be really struggling with some deep issues. And if he shares his thoughts into a group of drunk guys in a group in a pub, they're just going to ridicule him and take the piss out of him. And what's he going to do? He's probably going to shut down. He's probably going to regret that he said anything. And he's probably not going to say anything going forwards. Therefore, holding on to all those feelings and emotions. You know what I mean? Anyway. Not good. Anyway, that's what happened to my friend. That's what happened to my fucking friend, because I was one of those people. I was around him. I was one of them people that were drinking. I was one of them people that was taking the piss and being silly. I was being an idiot. I was in my 20s. That's what you do, of course. Anyway, let's move on. Another one is you don't want to burden others. A lot of guys, we don't want to burden others. We don't want to bother anyone with our problems. We don't want to bring anyone down. Again, you could be at a party in a group of people. You could be going for a meal. You don't want to dampen the mood with your problems. So people hold on to them. They don't want to burden anyone. And maybe that's like kind of like in a way, you could think that's kind of a kind thing to do to an extent. One moment, let me have a sip of water. You could see that as a kind thing to do, but a lot of guys, you don't want to burden anyone with the problems. But if you do that, of course, that's good sometimes. You don't want to do it all the time. It's not going to be good, is it? You'd be Debbie Downer, wouldn't you? But sometimes we need to express ourselves, of course. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Let me think. Let me go back to my notes. So this is another one. In relationships, the rules keep shifting. We're expected to be the rock. My guys are expected to be the rock, but also be an open book. So be the rock, be stoic, be this, but why are you not showing your emotions? Sometimes this can happen in a relationship dynamic. The guy's expected to be the rock, he's expected to be stoic, he's expected to just shut up, work hard, be the happy-go-lucky guy, never show any sadness, never get upset, never be upset. How do not dare be upset, because you're going to upset the fucking apple cart. Shut up and get on with it. Keep working, keep bringing money in. But then sometimes they want you to be an open book as well. But if you do open up, they'll ridicule you for it, or they'll put you down for it. That's where it can get confusing for some guys in some situations, of course. Have a little rest, guys. One moment. Next one. Let's keep going. I think this is going on into the future, by the way. Work is no longer identity. So work is no longer identity. AI. Fuck me. AI, mate. Let me have a look at what Yorick is saying. Yorick's saying the government could sort many problems out. They could, but they don't. Simply by removing gambling shops, but they won't, as it makes the money. Very, very true. Very, very true. What's one of the worst drugs? The worst drug of all is alcohol. It's not always bad, don't get me wrong, but it's a fucking drug. If it was a new drug and they weren't making any money on it, if it was a new drug just brought out today, it'd be made illegal with alcohol. Gambling can be bad as well. There's so many of them. But you're right, they make too much money out of it, Yorick. That can be one of the addictions that guys can get into, of course. That's something I've never got into personally, but I understand why people do. There's only one winner. The bookies win every time, don't they? What do they call the machines? Bandits. What the bandits do? They rob you. The machines, they call them bandits, don't they? Because they rob you, of course. They win, not us. Anyway, Well, sometimes you win, but very rarely you lose more than you win. Anyway, one of the biggest challenges facing, guys, I think this is a big one, and you might not see it completely now, but the next few years, AI is kicking in. These big corporations, the biggest corporations in the world, are putting billions, and I mean shitloads of money, billions upon billions, into AI, and they're all competing to have the best AI. What does that mean? So it's the automation of jobs. There's going to be jobs that are going to be threatened. What's that going to do? What's that going to do? So a guy likes to provide. Guys like to do, don't they? They like to provide a lot of the time. They like to do. I think that's what we're there for, to provide and to protect. Naturally inclined to do that type of thing. That's the purpose of a man. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, but that's some of the purposes of a man, to provide and to protect, amongst other things. But if AI is taking all the jobs, what are some guys going to do? They're going to be fucking lost. What does that mean? They're going to be aimlessly wandering around, lost, not knowing what to do. That's not good. What's aimlessness going to give you? Think about it. What's aimlessness going to give you? You've no job. You don't know what am I supposed to do then? What the fuck am I meant to do? There's no jobs. Imagine this. Work my ass off at uni, at college, whatever, but there's no work. AI's got the jobs. Shit. I'm now aimless. And now I'm fucking anxious. Aimlessness is basically anxiety, worried, lost. Not good. Devil makes work for idle hands, potentially, doesn't it? So you're gonna. That's the outcome. I think that's going forwards as well. I know that sounds a bit bleak. Maybe that's looking into the future a little bit, but I think that's what's coming. That's what's coming. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'll have a sip of water. Thanks for anyone that's liked, subscribed. Inspirational Ambiverts, my channel. I like to speak really. I usually speak about psychology. I speak about different things. Self-improvement, man. I'm all about self-improvement. I'm all about talking about things, issues that bother people. I talk about toxic people, how to come away from toxic people. I talk about resilience. You're going to need resilience in this life. Grit. The issues that men face. The list goes on and on. I like to keep it varied. I like to be real. I give my genuine opinion, of course. Yorick's saying, did you hear about the ID thing? Yes, I did, Yorick. Stormer is put, if you don't have it, you can't get a job. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, that's bad. Let's go down that little rabbit hole, Yorick. It's not a nice rabbit hole, but it's an interesting one. I don't like this rabbit hole. Nothing against you. I don't like this ID thing. No, do I? Fuck. It's just more control, isn't it? Also, it's like, have you had your vaccines? No, you cannot get job. That kind of thing. It could go on and on, couldn't it? You'll have your passport on there. You'll have your driver's license on there. Criminal record on there. What else? Vaccination. Fucking might as well put them on there as well. I'm not saying that's a good thing, by the way. I don't like that. Some people are saying it's the mark of the beast, can't buy or sell without it. Yep. Have you, another fucking one, Yorick. What's your carbon footprint, Yorick? Have you been driving around in your car too much? I think you've got a few points against you. You can't drive for another week now because your carbon footprint is not up and it doesn't match our policy on the environmental policies or whatever they're called. Could they put that into there? You can see that you've been doing this. You've been talking or thinking or whatever against our government policies. You're not believing what we say. You're a challenge. You're a problem. Fucking hell. It's just too much. Fuck me. Yeah, it is. It's very it's totalitarianism going extreme. It's very dystopian, Yorick. And I bet you, to begin with, how do you sell something to someone? How do you fucking do it? First, to sell something to begin with, you make it sound really good, like you're doing them a favour. and you keep it light to begin with. Oh, we're only going to put your passport on your driving license. It'd be really convenient for you guys. We're trying to help you. That's what they'll say. We're trying to help you. We're doing you a fucking favor. You know, oh, nice one. That sounds really good. I can have my passport and my driving license all in one place. And yes, I suppose there's some benefits to those little things, but I believe, like Yorick is just stating, that they're going to add more shit onto there. I hope that there's a fire back against that. Life just gets better, doesn't it, Yorick? It doesn't feel like it does. So anyway, yeah, I think AI are going to take up jobs, leading that men are going to be searching for meaning, basically. Some men are going to feel lost in that process, potentially. And women, of course. Another one of the pressures that men can face is about body image. And women go through this as well, of course they do. So there's pressure now with the gym culture to look cut up, to look muscly, whatever it is. Fitness, comparisons online. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'll say it fucking again, you've heard this one before, but comparison is a thief of joy. But it does happen. You look online, you look at these guys, they're strong, they're muscly, they've got massive physiques, but they might be on steroids or whatever they're on, but that could be an issue to some guys, modern men going forwards. It isn't for me personally, but it could be. It could be. I get why. And we see other people doing really well. There's always someone doing better than you anyway, in my opinion. And you don't know the full picture. They might have a car than you. They might have a better job than you. Doesn't mean they've got a better life than you, does it? There's different types of success, in my opinion. And comparison is a thief of joy. Absolutely. Sometimes comparison can be good, though. You can go, oh, look at that guy over there. He's doing really well. He's inspired me. I want to be like that. I'm inspired by that person. That's a good thing. That's when comparison could be good, if you use it the right way. So anyway, that's my little rant on what some of the challenges are going forwards. I don't think I've covered everything, if I'm honest, but that's what I've covered. But the real challenge isn't to reject masculinity, it's to evolve it, isn't it? Being strong, being stoic, fucking right. That's the old school traditional way of being a guy. A lot of those things are good, man. You've got to be strong physically, mentally. You've got to be strong and physically, mentally, just to live in this life, live in this world that we're in. Especially as AI is going forwards, especially with what Yorick's saying, with the ID coming in soon. It's scary, isn't it? Potentially. It's a little bit worrying. It's a little bit concerning. But you're going to need to be stoic. You're going to need to be strong as a guy. Absolutely. But I think sometimes it's okay if you get the right people to check in with yourself. If something's bothering you, you feel upset or emotional about something, if you can if you're lucky enough, find someone to share that with. It's got to be with the right person, though, of course, and just do it in a measured way. Let a little bit of it out. Let a little bit of that pressure out. And then think, how am I going to solve this? How am I going to go forwards? So it's basically, what is it? Sorry, carry on. I lost my train of thought there. I'm keeping going. It's combining strength with empathy, basically, like I've just said. Independence with connection and purpose with presence, basically. I'm using my notes here a little bit. Being a man in 2025 is about balance. About balance, mate. You're not always going to get perfect. Not living by old scripts. Not chasing extremes, but writing our own definition of what it means to be a man today. I know it's hard out there. I don't think the media likes men at the moment either. It's a bit crazy out there. I'm going to have a little rest. How long have we been going for? 54 minutes. Okay, guys, I think I've come to the end of speaking about that. What else can I talk about, guys? I'll ask a question. Does anyone think it's easy being a man in 2025? Or a person, even a woman watching? Do you think it's easy? Do you think we've got it easy? Do you think it's good? I'm not saying that I'm not discrediting women though. Some women are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think though to attract, let me go on a little bit. It's not easy, Yorick saying. No, it's not, mate. I know. It's really not. It's really, really not. Yeah. Sandra said, I'm a woman and hell no, it's not easy being a man. No. And I don't think it's easy being a woman either. I don't think it's easy being a person. I'm not just trying to be one-sided with this. I don't think that would be fair at all. You're saying you have to live up to a certain status. Yeah. Yeah. And some women, they're not offering much back. Some of them they've got baggage, they've got kids. And I'm not saying that can work sometimes. For some guys can meet a woman who's got kids, she's a good, strong woman, and she's got a good family dynamic. That can work. However, I think it's tricky a lot of the time. And a lot of the time, the guy, there'll be the woman with the kids. The kids come first, of course, in a woman's mind. She's got kids with a separate guy, of course. Then you've got the dog. And then you've got the guy that's dating the woman with kids potentially. And the guy's like fourth down in the pecking order. And what can happen sometimes as well is the guy can be really good. Imagine you've got a really good person, really good man. He meets a woman who's got kids and he goes with the woman, gets with the woman, moves in with the woman, and he's just a really good person. And he starts to be like a father figure to those children. He's just a really positive person. He builds up positive relationships with those children. He's around for 3 or 4 years or whatever it is. And then for whatever reason, that relationship breaks down. And all that time and energy and effort is just gone. Just gone. So the guy's just on his own again. Guy's on his own again. The woman's going to go off with the kids. Maybe the kids will meet another guy or whatever. Be brought up with another person. It can be very confusing for the kids as well, potentially. And the guy's thinking, oh shit, I put loads of emotional energy into those children and now it's gone. It can be quite difficult. Actually, very difficult. That's just one example. So I'm saying, especially in 2025, it's such a strange time for men. And I think the media really kills us, mate. A lot of movies, watch the movies. Does anyone else see this? Is it just fucking me? Is it just me? It's like the guy's just a weak person in a lot of movies. He's just a weak fucking bitch. Pathetic. A little simp with a kid. He's just a little weak. A lot of guys in movies right now, they play the fucking idiot, the doofus, the dumb cunt, the guy that's useless, just a useless fucking muppet, basically. A lot of guys in movies now are just useless muppets, in my opinion. And I don't think that's a true reflection of what a man is. We're very, very, without men in the world, the oil rigs wouldn't be working. The roads wouldn't be fixed. The bins wouldn't be taken. They keep society going. Women play the part as well, but a lot of men, strong men, they do the jobs that no one wants to do, the dirty, shitty jobs that are underpaid, undervalued, but they keep the fabric of society together. A lot of men do those jobs and they keep going and they're stoic and they're strong. But they're being pictured to be weak. And I don't think it's right. Sorry, I don't. Anyway. Have you heard me going on? Sanders made a really good point. Thank you. Without men, there would be no children either. No, there wouldn't. No, there wouldn't. I'm not on about man-child, by the way. They're a different kettle of fish. That's a man that's not grown up, that acts like a child, a selfish child. Those type of men are just not good people, are they? Of course. I'm not on about those though today. Sanders saying all these empowered females are making it so much harder for men. Do you know what? I've not covered that today, Sander, and thank you for mentioning it. That's a really good point. Yeah, I don't. A lot of the women out there, they're doing OnlyFans, so they don't need a man. They're earning loads of money. They're earning loads and loads of money. And what's OnlyFans is basically, for right or for wrong, each to their own. It's prostitution, isn't it? Of course it is. That's what it is. And what are a lot of guys doing? A lot of guys are lonely. They don't have anyone around. Therefore, they end up as simps. They go on websites or whatever. They pay the women on OnlyFans. And they're just watching and doing whatever they're doing at home. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't need to. And then they just get stuck in that situation. They're just simps. They're just paying for these women to be in these positions. Anyway, I'm not elaborating that very well on that, but there you go. So Yorick saying, yeah, not like the old thanks, Yorick. You're saying yes, they're not like the old Indiana Jones or Godfather, Terminator, John Connor. None of those. They're not in the films anymore, are they? It's women that are taking those roles now. Men aren't in these roles anymore. No more action films with Arnold Schwarzenegger. No more James Bond's still going to an extent. That's it. That's it, man. There's none of these like movie characters, and these things influence the collective consciousness in society. These movies, these TV programs, it's like we're being subliminally controlled, manipulated via these programs, these television programs, by these movies where the men are fucking weak all the time. It's not a true depiction of the man, and that could actually influence society. Thinking, oh, men are meant to be like this. Like, no, we're not. Anyway, Yorick's saying, OnlyFans pay to see someone you don't know and will never meet to slash her personal parts. While she acts all into you, but really she doesn't give two fucks about you, only your money. I'm going to say that again, Yorick, because it's very well said. OnlyFans pay to see they pay to see someone that you don't know. It's the only thing they can get by paying like that. And then they'll never meet her. And they get a little glimpse of something, a little tiny glimpse of whatever it is, but they're paying for the privilege of it, see some parts or whatever. Of course, I'm not going to go into detail on that. And then they pretend to be all into you, but they just want your money, mate. You're being fleeced. You're being taken for a fucking muppet. I'm telling you now. If you're going on OnlyFans and you're paying someone to flash their legs or whatever bits, basically, you've been taken for a muppet. Not a lot of people won't agree with that. Therefore, that fits into the simp. Simp. Do you want to be a simp as a man? No, thanks. No, thank you. I feel like I'd failed. Sorry. A lot of people won't agree with that. I'm going to talk about simps on Sunday. But anyway, thanks for sharing that, Yorick. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on there. However, let me critique it. I'm trying to critique myself here, Yorick. I suppose if you're going to look at it from the other perspective, the woman's there, she's making loads of money, it's working. If it's working, she's earning loads of money, she has nice things, she's acquiring loads of wealth from this situation. Power to her, let's say, in that situation, if that's what she's willing to do. And maybe that could affect your relationships going older, though. What if you've got kids as well? Well, what does your mum do? Oh, I've seen your mum on that OnlyFans. That's not a good thing, is it? Anyway, that's got a potential consequence. And I suppose on another perspective, let's try and be open. I'm trying to be open-minded as I can here. Like each to their own. If people want to do that, then they're going to do it. That's their choice. That's their choice. But there's a consequence because they end up stuck as. What will happen is you'll end up stuck as the guy that's on OnlyFans, the guy that pays for that kind of thing, and that's going to be you. That's going to be you, and it's probably going to prevent you from potentially finding a partner, a relationship, a proper relationship, because you're only used to an OnlyFans type of scenario as a guy, which I don't think's good. Don't think it's good, man. It's going to prevent people from dating properly. It's going to prevent people from doing that, from facing rejection. I suppose as well, when you go into the dating game, Yorick, you're facing rejection. Have I had rejection? Yes, I've had a lot of rejection in my life. It's very painful. And a lot of people won't do it because they don't want to be rejected. They're scared of it. How do I know? Because I've done it. So you're saying, yeah, it's probably another addictive thing, isn't it? Only, of course, it's going to be addictive as well, because all you have to do is sitting at home, turn on the computer, you log into whatever you do, you pay your money. They pay the money, don't they, for that type of thing, and then they get a little bit of gratification. Little bit of the person that's presenting, the woman, let's say, gives them a little bit of approval, makes them feel good. It's they get a little bit of an endorphin kick, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. They feel good. A feel good hormone kicks in, a validation. They get a little bit of that, and then that repeats the process, and they carry on going down that road. But that's all it is, isn't it? It's just a fantasy. It's not the real thing. But that's what they're stuck in. It's like almost like a prison, isn't it? If you're addicted to that type of thing, OnlyFans, for example, and you're paying for that kind of shit, for a flash of a leg or a bit of a whatever it is you're getting, of course, you're gonna be sucked into that shit. You're not going to put yourself out there in other relationships. You're going to keep going back to OnlyFans. I think it's sad. I think it's a trap. It's a trap. There's many traps in life. You're saying, imagine guys doing that, showing their bollocks off. Girls don't care to pay. They are smarter than the simp males. Fucking hit the nail on the head, Yorick. Oh, God, imagine that. That's never going to happen. And another one is, oh, God, what's do some guys do? And it's the worst thing you can fucking do, guys, man. Don't do this one, mate. It's the fucking worst. They'll be chatting to a girl and they go, oh, I'm going to send her a thingy. I'm not going to swear. They send their bits, a picture of their bits to the woman. And it's like, that's the worst thing you can do ever. And, and girls aren't going to pay to see guys with their bits out, are they? They're smarter. They are smarter. They're so much smarter in that way. Absolutely. Especially simp males. You don't want to be a simp, man. It's not good. It's not good. A D pick. Yes, a peenie pick. I'll go with peenie. A peenie pick, Yorick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll talk to a girl. Oh, yeah, I'll show her my peenie pick. That'll get her. That'll seal the deal. Absolutely. Guaranteed. Don't send. It's like, game over, isn't it? The worst. I support. I don't know why people do that, but they do. They do. It's just a big sign of stupidity, though. Desperation, actually. Coming from a place of desperation, really, that. It's funny, but not really. It's fucked up. Oh, God. Let me ask a question to you all then. What's the price? What's the price of what's the downside? I've changed the topic here a little bit of men going on OnlyFans. What's the downside? What's the price? Let's have a look. Let's think about that. What's the downside of men going on OnlyFans? I suppose I'm going to actually go against that a moment. I'm going to go on the upsides. Yorick. Potentially, imagine you've got some guys, right? And they have needs. People have fucking needs. Let's be real, sexual needs, whatever. And if they go on OnlyFans and then their needs are met, they've not harmed anyone. They've paid for a service. They've got something back, whatever that is, for right, for wrong. They've got something back. Their needs have been met. Therefore, their sexual urges have been satisfied to an extent. Satisfied, let's go with that. That could prevent some men from doing some horrible things to women, couldn't it? Imagine if a guy never gets any women, he can't get anyone. He can't get anyone at all. It has nothing ever happens, ever. And this guy has sexual desires and he can't have his needs met ever. That would increase the chances of him doing horrific things to women, which is disgusting, of course. And that kind of thing can be an outlet for them that could prevent them from doing that. That's looking at it from a different perspective. And in that way, each to their own. And that's that. That's that. I'd rather someone use that, OnlyFans, than do something horrible to a woman. That's all I'm going to say. That's potentially not such a bad thing, is it? If you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to go to the comments and I'll carry on. Yorick saying, so what's the downside of men going on OnlyFans? So let's go back to the downsides. There's a lot of downsides as well, of course. I think there's probably more downsides than upsides. Yorick saying, you don't understand how a real girl behaves. Nope. And acts in real world. No, you don't. You don't. Absolutely not. And you're addicted to this fantasy world and you keep paying. You're basically paying for someone to talk to you and paying for someone to approve of you, of course. You can't have a real relationship because of false pretense of how girls are supposed to behave, like OnlyFans. Absolutely. It's so twisted, so unreal. And if that's all you've ever known, then it's you're doomed. You're never going to get that real relationship with anybody. You're never going to get a real relationship with anyone at all. And I know it sounds really cheesy, the cliche. You just have a relationship with yourself. And be the person that you want to be with if you want to be with anyone. There's nothing wrong with being on your own either, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. What happens as well, I think I've said this before, it's society. This society is a motherfucker sometimes. Sometimes you're single. I've been single for a long time at one point in my life. Trust me, years. And anyway, if you're single, what do they say to you? They say, when you're getting a girlfriend, why have you not got a girlfriend? Like there's something wrong with you. So then you get a girlfriend. And then what do they say to you? You've got a girlfriend? Yeah, I've got a girlfriend. When you're getting fucking married then? Again, like you're not enough. So what do you do, potentially? If you're going to follow society's bullshit rules. You get married. So you got married. Oh, are you married? Yeah, I'm married. Why have you not got a kid when you're having a kid? For fuck's sake. All right then, I'll have a kid. So I'm married now and I've got a kid. All right. You're married and you got one kid. When you're getting the second kid, when you're having the second kid, it's like it's never ending. Society's expectations of us. So there's nothing wrong with any of those things. Having two kids, having one kid, being married, being single, being in a relationship, doesn't matter. It's what's right for you personally. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent there. So let's think of the downsides. Yeah, you're never going to be, basically, you're going to be paying for approval. You're going to be paying just for, you're being taken for a muppet. They're fleecing you basically in a way. That's the way I'd look at it. Some people might not agree with that, but you're paying for someone to show you a bit of approval, but it's paid for, so it's fake. It's not real. It's not a real connection. It's a fake connection. Potentially you're being used. It's going to, like Yorick said, it's going to influence your relationships. You're not going to be able to, it's going to hinder your ability to form true relationships, true friendships with people. And if you try to apply that into a real life scenario, like the social interaction between someone on OnlyFans and someone paying to watch it, And you can't transfer that into real life because it's just not the fucking same, is it? You can't. You can't. I think that's what's wrong with society so much. And what have you got there? A lot of guys, single, no family, nothing happening. And women on the other hand, just cashing in. Again, a lot of them probably won't. The question I want to ask you, would you ever date an OnlyFans girl? Would you ever date? I'm going to ask another question to the group, man. Fuck it. Let's go with it. I'm going with the floor today, guys. Would you ever date an OnlyFans girl? Oh, I've not really done that very well. One moment. Sorry, one sec. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I'm being very slow here. I'm just typing something in. Would you date an OnlyFans girl? Let's say a woman. Sorry, say. I put girl. Woman, sorry. Go with woman, of course. Would you date an OnlyFans woman? Is the question. Sorry, it took me like forever to write that then. Jorek's saying they can do better with that money. Save it up and give it to the homeless. They could. If God, a lot of guys would. They date the OnlyFans girl, but woman, let's say. But the reality is she's going to be exposing herself to loads of other men. That's going to potentially cause jealousy, isn't it? But what a lot of guys do as well, this is what happens, man. It fucking happens. A guy can end up basically not having anyone for a long time. He's lonely, whatever. A girl comes along. It's the first girl he's had for ages, any chance with in ages, but she's showing fucking red flags. She's a bit toxic. She's a bit crazy. She's very selfish. She's there to use you. She's in it to win it. She's just not, she only likes you for how useful you are, but you're so desperate for love. Some guys are so fucking desperate. They're so lonely, they'll accept anything. And that's where then being single, trust me, much a better option. Short term, you're going to get the honeymoon period. So you meet a toxic girl. I've done it myself. And you're thinking, oh, this is all good. I'm getting some love. I'm getting some affection. It's getting love bombed. It's all fucking good. But the reality is, you know, deep down, something's not right with that person. There's something wrong with that person. They're showing signs of narcissism. They're using you. They're twisted. They're going to make your life potentially hell. Trust me, I've been there. You don't want a woman like that. I'm not saying all OnlyFans women can be like that, but some of them will. You're not saying I would date her if she's willing to change her career. Yeah, okay. If she's willing to change her career, stop doing that. Some guys would accept it, Yorick. They go, all right, you crack on. I'm just going to be pimping it in the corner, smoking my cigarettes or whatever in the corner. It's giving an example here, guys. Letting the woman earn loads of money. And they won't be bothered by that, some guys. I don't think it's good. But no, I just don't. No, I think it's too twisted. But you'd be willing to date her if she changed her career. If she changes, if she moves forwards, of course. A lot won't, though. A lot won't. But a lot of guys, I'm going off topic a little bit because this is not just about OnlyFans girls. It's about toxic women. Some of them are really toxic. Guys can be toxic as well. But some women can potentially ruin your life. And a lot of these people, a lot of guys, they're on their own for a long time. They finally get with someone. They finally get a girl. They've been on their own for 5 years. Let's go with that. They get one, but she's fucked in the head. She's fucked in the head. She's going to make your life shit, trust me. I've been there. Trust me. And it's not going to end well. And then you can come in love with an idea. So you're thinking, oh, I really like them when they're nice. Because some people are like Jekyll and Hyde. One day they're really nice. I'm speaking properly now, guys. Excuse me. One day they're really nice. They're treating you like a king. You're king of the world. You're the best thing since sliced bread. They're showing love. They're showing affection to you. It's all fucking good. It's all well. And then the next day you're a piece of shit. Like switch like that. Just like that. Yeah. I've been there. I've been shit on. And I'm not bitter now, of course. I needed those experiences. Anyway, I'm going to go quiet for a moment. I'm going quiet for a moment, guys. I'm speaking for quite a while. My name's Brad, by the way, if you don't know my name. It's the Inspirational Ambivert channel. It's Let's Get Inspired live vlog. I'm going with the flow. I'm speaking about men's issues today. I've just changed topic a little bit. I've gone off track. Like, would you date an OnlyFans woman? Would you do that? What did I have for dinner? Yorick's asking, changing subject, that's fine, yeah. I had a chicken kebab, man, chicken breast in like a nice, like a flatbread with mayonnaise and lettuce salad, basically. It was a fucking amazing, Yorick. And then I had a hazelnut croissant as well. It was like, basically, it was Nutella croissant. It was absolutely amazing, Yorick. That's what I had for dinner. What did you have for dinner? How were the tacos, by the way, Yorick? You had tacos yesterday. Were they any good? But like I said before, I think for some men, they're on their own. They have sexual desires. They go onto OnlyFans. It gives them an outlet. Their needs are met via those interactions. They pay for a service. The person is offering the service. They pay for the service. That's a mutual agreement between the OnlyFans person and the man, let's say. Not that I would do these things, I don't agree with these things, but in that instance, that is, I thought that it would be deemed to be socially acceptable, and that could potentially prevent certain men from doing horrific things because their needs have been met via this OnlyFans kind of thing. And I wouldn't like to be with a woman, though, that was doing that. I wouldn't. Thinking how many people have watched that person, how many people have done this with that person. No, it's not good. I don't think it's good. I think it's twisted. I think it's low vibrational. It doesn't match my integrity or morals. It takes away the purity of the person that you're with as well. You don't want that. It's like spoiled in a way. Maybe I'm being a bit too old school. Maybe. But I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that. Tacos were rubbish. Oh, I'm sorry, Yorick. The tacos were shit, mate. Sorry. You won't be going there again. Sorry that they weren't good. At least works out. Perfectly does it. Of course. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes. I've got work tomorrow, so I need to shut up. I need to stop soon. Open chat for 5 minutes. I'm just relaxing a bit now, guys. On Sunday, I'm going to be live at 10 o'clock in the morning, British time. So Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be talking about simps. I'm going to be talking about who simps are, why people become simps, what is a simp, why it's not a good thing in my opinion, and how to not be a simp. Basically, I'm going to talk about simps, and maybe touch on some other things as well. But that's what I'm going to talk about on Sunday on the live. If you want to see me again, of course, you're welcome to join me. If you want me to bring out any of the content, talk about other things, then please let me know. Just type on one of the videos or comment on one of the videos or whatever you want to do on the community tab if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to email me, you can. It's www.inspirationalambivert@outlook.com. I don't always get back to people straight away because I work full time, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I try and help people the best I can. I really genuinely do. I turn up the best I can. Like today, I've got loads of energy. I'm on fire today. Hence the reason I'm doing a video. And some days I'm not at my best because I'm human. I have ups and downs. I don't know everything. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have a degree in anything. I've just got life experiences that I like to share. There's topics that I've read about. I've read about quite a few things, but I don't know everything and I don't pretend to know everything. However, I do believe that I can help people, and that's why I'm here. Yeah, that's why I do what I do. And I enjoy doing that. So I'm going to keep doing it, man. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to be on for another 4 minutes, maybe a bit longer. If people comment, I'll carry on talking. If they don't want to, that's fine. It's all good. It's all good. But your best is different every day, isn't it? It just fucking is. It just is. I keep thinking of Taco Bell, Yorick, if you're still there. I keep thinking of Taco Bell. Has anyone been to Taco Bell? I keep asking this. I've never been. I want to know what it's like. There's not any in the area that I live. I think there's some in Manchester. I want to go to Taco Bell. I want to try it. But I'd like to know what it's like before I do. I suppose I could look at reviews online. Is it Boy Barista? That's good. If anyone been to Boy Barista, that's good. Am I saying it right? Going quiet for a moment. It's all good. Jorik saying, I think I don't want any more tacos anywhere. It put me off tacos, that place. Oh, sorry, dude. That's not good, Jorik. You've had a bad experience. Not good. Doesn't mean they're all like that, but I can see why it'd put you off. What did you have for your dinner today, is a question. Did you eat them all? It's disappointing, isn't it, as well, when you pay for fucking food and it's like absolutely terrible. It's like, no, gutted. You feel like you've been robbed, basically, because you have, in a way. I really like Five Guys. That's nice. It's messy though, isn't it, Five Guys? I used to avoid Five Guys for a long time because I thought, God, it looked like it was like McDonald's or something. And I thought, oh, that's an expensive McDonald's. That's what I used to think about Five Guys. But it's actually, in my opinion, very nice. You get a lot of chips as well. It's really good. Just talking about food now, of course, as you do. Nando's, I think, is spot on every time. GBK Burger, that's really good. You've had a chicken curry with one burger. Sorry, you had a chicken curry with one burger. I fancied a burger, so I went for a walk. Or did you go to the park, is the question. I've got 1 more minute, guys. I'm going to call it a day today. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day in a minute. Thank you for what? Thanks for watching. Whoever's watching. I don't know everyone else who's watching, but thanks for watching, man. I try and talk up honestly as I can. I've talked about problems of men today. I'm not always going to do this because people will probably think I'm really sexist or something like that. I don't want people to think that about me because I'm not. I try to be open-minded and look at different perspectives, of course. But anyway, I'm going to call it a day. Please look after yourselves. Look after each other. I know life's not easy. I know life's hard, and I know it can be fucking suffering beyond words sometimes, but do look after each other. Keep on going. Keep on growing. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. The school of life is not easy. It's not. It's not easy for anyone. No one gets out alive, so don't take yourself too seriously at the same time. But if you want to see more inspirational content, then I'll be here at 10 o'clock on Sunday talking about simps. So good night. God bless you as well, Yorick. Thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you guys soon. So thank you. Good night and goodbye.